So usually I'm talking about some complicated workflows, but today I'm going to switch tact a little bit and I'm going to teach you one of my favorite automations to run in any context. In this context, I'm actually using this for Facebook leads that are coming via an ad. So if you've got a performance agency that's running lead generation ads, this is a great automation for you, but it can also be used in other contexts such as e-commerce or even replying to your boss. So the first thing that I'm actually doing is I'm watching the leads that are coming in via this Facebook ad. After that, I'm storing it in a lead table. So I actually use Airtable, but you can use Google Sheets. One of the great things about Make is it's modular. So if we wanted to use a different CRM system, let's say HubSpot, we could also do that. But the core point is that I'm creating that lead within my database. So once I've created that lead within my database, I make sure that all the columns are filled in nicely with the right appropriate information. I am then going to generate a response. In this case, I'm actually going to save it as a draft, but it could also be sent immediately as an email. In fact, I might even change it to that. So in this case, we're telling it you're an email writer and your job is to draft email responses to customers. Okay, and it looks a bit like this. So we can tell it using the template, the email template below, you are to write an email to the customer and you are to use their first name. So the first name is actually coming in via this Facebook field over here. And you can see we've got their name and the customer's name will come in. So we just click full name and then we've told the prompt to use their first name. So we'll get it right. And then below is this email template that I've actually just created out of a HTML text. I could do this in other ways. I could even actually add this to my Airtable base and extract that information. But in this case, we're just going to use a simple copy and paste. In fact, you could even use ChatGPT to generate this HTML like so. And then finally, after this, I want to output that into HTML. And that's because the API of Outlook, which is the email subscription service that we're using in this context, actually only accepts HTML. If we put it in plain text, even with spacing, it would have no spacing in it. So I've asked it to output in HTML, where I'll update that into the body of the email. In this case, I'm actually using some code, some simple Java, to effectively get rid of some bugs that come out in the code of in this case, I'm using some simple Java to get rid of some of the bugs in the code that's sometimes outputted from ChatGPT. If you've ever done this, you will be familiar with this part of the string here, but we want to remove that. We don't want that in our email body. We want a nice, clean email. And then the email address is from the Facebook field down here, and the full name is also from that. Okay, we hit save, and then we want to update our Airtable, which is actually going to change the status in this case to say that the email has been sent. And the reason we do that is just to make sure that if there were any bugs, we'd be able to see that immediately in our CRM. And the emails that go out, they look a bit like this. They're actually asking people to book a call.